Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut. Halloween morning here on the East Coast. Happy Halloween, everybody. All right, I was up bright and early, not even bright, very early this morning. I had a lot of fact checking to do, and I got for this video. Once I get into it, there's going to be all the links down below from factcheck.org. I want to say that right off the bat. But anyway, I don't know if the rest of the country is feeling like I have been as it gets closer to election. I got to be honest, I'm not somebody that worries a lot or, is pessimistic, but my anxiety level has been going up measurably. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't foresee an election day like the ones that we've had in the past. I thought back to election days previously, and I was excited. I was excited to go to the polls and vote. I've been voting since I was 18, even through my addiction and everything. I always voted. I was always excited to get in there and cast my vote. It's really something that's appealed to me. And there's something about the change, or either a sense of change coming, or just reaffirming a mandate that something's going good with your vote. That is not what I am feeling this time. I have a sense of dread and anxiety. I don't want to sit here and make people worry more, but I can't really say that I picture a scenario that's going to be any of those things I just mentioned, uplifting or exciting or any of that. I'll just leave that there. All right, so yesterday, it just got to be too much for me. I made one video and it kind of blew off my my anger and frustration, and I took a break for the rest of the day, and I'm back at it today. All right, I'm especially concerned if Donald Trump wins the election. What I see is a country full of his supporters that believe every and anything that comes out of his mouth. I know I'm not saying anything new here, but especially these theories, these conspiracy theories that he keeps that keep propping him up, that his supporters will just buy into anything that he says, from windmills to now that doctors are profiting from the COVID-19 virus. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. And I spent the last 2 hours today, and I didn't count. I started researching last night, probably after supper, and I fell asleep sometimes. So I don't know how many hours I was researching last night. This is what scares me if Donald Trump is reelected, because what he is saying, he's going now. For those of you that don't know this. At his rallies recently, he's been saying that doctors are profiting from each case of the COVID-19 virus, that when they say somebody's when they diagnose, that's the word, when they diagnose a case of COVID-19, they get an extra $2,000. So, and then he goes on to as I read up on what he was saying about comorbidity, and I researched all this morning, and I'll put the links down below because it's an awful lot to remember. And see, this is what Trump does not count on his base doing stuff like I did, or what I hope you guys will do after you watch this video and do the research. Look at the links down below and understand why what he is saying is a flat out lie. Not only is it a lie about these doctors blowing up the rates, the infection rates that they're going to profit. Not only is it a lie, but he signed the actual document. I'll get into this more. There's so much to this. These reimbursements that he's talking about, he's the one that signed these into effect back in March. It's called the CARES Act, or Coronavirus Relief Act. And he's the one that signed these into effect. The fact that he's saying that doctors are prospering from this, It is just a flat out lie. 62% of doctors have taken furloughs or pay cuts or been infected and died themselves. And another thing that he glanced over, anybody that had medical hospital procedure where they would be hospitalized this year, like me with my hip replacement surgery, they'll understand this so much better. As these hospitals fill up, they no longer accept the elective surgeries or cosmetic surgeries, and that's where these doctors make their bread and butter. They're actually losing so much money. Okay, for me, my surgery was canceled, my orthopedic surgeon. Now, how many orthopedic surgeons are there across the country for backs, hips, shoulders, wrists? All those surgeries were canceled. All the anesthesiologists, all the nurses, all the surgeons, all the people related to those operations were laid off. Those surgeries were no longer taking place for the last year. You picture all these people out of work and not getting paid. And Trump has the audacity to come out and blame doctors. This is just, like I said, there's so much of this to remember. This is what scares me about Donald Trump staying president. He knows this is a flat out lie. He sees that during the last 3 days, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we went from 70,000 new infections Thursday to 80,000 new infections Friday. No, I'm sorry, 80,000 new infections Thursday, 90 new infections 80 new infections Wednesday. Thursday was 90 new infections. Anyway, Friday, yesterday, over 101 new infections. This just blows the doors off anything. The new infection rate is skyrocketing. The hospitals are setting up tents outside because they can no longer handle all the cases. Especially, I've got to wonder if this is going to come out in a few months. The states now, they're finding that the states that are holding these super spreader rallies, that they could trace back, like, I'm not sure which state it was, like 30 cases back to, specifically to his rallies. His rallies are part of this entire problem that's spreading these infections throughout Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona. And this is going to come out in the future. So anyway, back to this claim about the doctors. All right, so I read up on it. And again, I want you guys to check factcheck.org, the links down below especially, and the Forbes article. Those are two very, they lay it out as clearly as possible. There's so much that's just a flat out lie and misrepresentation with what Trump is saying. So as he sees these numbers going up right before Election Day, which is because of people going back inside because it's getting colder and the infections are going way up and people are disregarding their masks because of what Trump is saying. He is directly the cause of our problems. Not only is he not providing a solution as president or helping, but he is the actual cause of our misery, death, and problems. This scares the hell out of me heading towards Election Day. The people that support him watch Fox, and Fox does not tell any of this. What they will tell you is, well, there was this one case in Florida where a doctor had a car accident victim, and he ended up saying that the car accident victim died of COVID-19, and it was clear that's clearly fraud. And this is happening all throughout the country. Yeah, that's a complete lie and misrepresentation. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. One here and there, there's going to be things that aren't supposed to be happening, but it's not common in any way, shape, or form. So anyway, back to this $2,000 that Trump claims doctors are prospering from. It's actually because Medicare, these $2,000 payments are only for Medicare patients who stay in the hospital, because Medicare only covers 80% of the hospitalizations, and because there are so many COVID-19 patients, the hospitals are getting overwhelmed and going into the red. So Trump himself signed this relief bill to cover that other 20% of these hospitalizations, these people not covered by and other people that are uninsured. That was the point of the regulation that Trump himself signed, the CARES Act. He's now going around on campaigns saying that doctors are profiting, they're getting rich from saying that people are getting COVID-19 and the rest of the world isn't listing these things. That's another flat out lie. The entire world goes by the World Health Organization's, WHO's guidelines for establishing morbidity. And there's so much, like I said, I was overwhelmed with all the research I did, but what Donald Trump is saying is dangerous. It's a flat out lie. And he knows it's a lie because he's the one that signed this into a law, the CARES Relief Act. And not only is it a lie, but it's a dangerous lie. Because now, as these numbers go up, people are just saying that this is all a hoax. This scares the hell out of me. All right, I see I'm running long on time already. I knew this was going to happen. There's so much information here, and it's so obvious once you look into it. It's not only a lie, but it's a dangerous lie. Look down below, the links, factcheck.org and Forbes. There's going to be about 5 links down below. Check them out. I want to talk about this too, that how I mentioned about work stoppages and strikes if Trump tries to claim that he won, when in fact it hadn't been decided yet. If this happens on Tuesday, the AFL-CIO, which has 12.5 million members nationwide, is seriously talking about getting the ball rolling, talking about a nationwide work stoppage. So this is a real possibility where we won't resort to violence. We'll just stop the economy and stop working, period, if Trump tries to steal this election. One last thing I want to say about Donald Trump and this accusation about the doctors getting rich with these supposed $2,000 enrichments from claiming people have COVID-19. I think he's mistaking the over 600 billionaires in this country that have seen their wealth go up over $1 trillion since March. Those are the people that are getting rich. You see what I'm saying here? The billionaires like him, the over 600 billionaires in this country have seen their overall wealth go up $1 trillion while the rest of this country is suffering. That's the truth. All right, I'll be back later with more videos. You guys have a good Saturday.